Should I do my next YATR video on Trump and the riots at the Capitol building or not? I know. I'll flip a coin for it. Yeah! Okay, heads I'll do it. Tails I won't. Let's flip. Well, I guess that answers that question. Hello friends, Markus Harvey here, in front of the woodpile once again, 69 steps in front of the St. John River. And welcome to a new season of YATR, a new year, 2021. We finally made it through 2020. Let's hope for better times and better things to carry us through. As always, if you want to comment on the content or if you want more content, please leave a comment. Suggestions, thoughts, ponderings, or musings in the comments below. And hit like and subscribe and we'll carry on. And if you don't like it, just turn me off. I've done it to enough ladies in my life, so I know how it works. We're going to be drinking a Glenallachie 15 today out of a sherry cask to get us through. And let me tell you, it is fantastic. Okay, why are we here today? Well, there was a little bit of an insurrection, a riot, a precursor to civil war perhaps in America last week. Now what happened was thousands of Trump supporters, after listening to a speech from him and Giuliani and others, stormed the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., and what they were trying to do was an insurrection and persuade those folks inside to stop the certification of the Electoral College vote, which is kind of the final step for solidifying Joe Biden as the President of the United States. Now, this was a crazy time. Like, there were literally thousands of people that rioted in the Capitol in Washington last week. And fortunately or unfortunately, I have many friends and family of opposing views from myself that believe Donald Trump and the lie that the vote was actually stolen. Folks, Trump lost the election in what everyone from the lowly secretary at a low-level court to the Supreme Court of America to people on both sides of the aisle, including Homeland Security folks and whatnot, have said was the most secure and most free and fair election, especially during a pandemic, in American history. The logistics alone, and I mean, for the people that have the argument that it was stolen and then Donald Trump really did win the election, I'm going to speak to your argument just a little bit here. The logistics alone of the Democrats pulling off this steal is it is insurmountable. The fact that in all the states that Trump won, his argument is, that's fine, everything was peachy, we won those states, everything was above board, it was great. But just in the swing states, mostly Republican-controlled swing states, the Democrats were able to come in, dump votes, steal votes, rig the election, and win it for Joe Biden. It's crazy. Like, there's just no way they could have possibly done it. Well, and here's an example of how America runs and why I feel they couldn't have done it. They couldn't have pulled it off. We're going to talk about strippers. Once upon a time, my mother, many years ago, 30 years ago, lived in Largo, Florida, which is just outside of Tampa. Now, why am I bringing up strippers and my mother in the same conversation? Well, here's how it goes. In the United States of America, and we're going to use Florida as our example, and strippers more specifically, in between counties in a state, they can't even decide whether or not a stripper can show her titties or not. So you can go to a strip club, let's say the old now defunct Tanga Lounge just outside of Tampa, and you can go see strippers there buck naked. But you cross the county line, you're going to see more action at a Hooters than you are at a strip club. So how, in a country where they can't even decide what the strippers can show from county to county, do you expect that the Democrats can go into a Republican-run state and steal an election? And then in the next state, and the next state, and the next state, and the next state. All those swing states that Trump is going on about. Listen, it just didn't happen. It's over. Trump lost. But you know what? I've been wrong before. And what if I am right now? Think about that. So I saw a Facebook post the other day. My buddy George up the road reposted from someone, and it was a really, really strong argument and a clarity for someone who still is on the side of Donald Trump and believes that the vote was stolen. And it goes a little something like this. Let's say you were at the speech that Donald Trump gave the other day, and Giuliani and all the rest of them. And you listen to Donald Trump, and it's like, the vote was stolen. We've got to take our country back. I'm going to be with you. Let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. Let's go to the Capitol and get it back. Fight, fight, fight. Trial by combat. It's a war, whatever. So you get in your little group and you start marching, herding yourself towards the Capitol building. All incensed, whipped right up. Now, as you look around, you notice, this crowd isn't too bad. It's a lot of like-minded people like myself, obviously. It's a huge crowd, a diverse crowd. There's lots of white people. There's lots of white people with beards, white people with tattoos, white people with flashbang grenades, white people with guns, white people in camo, white people with pitchforks. It's a real diverse cross-section of America that you're traveling with. So the wheels start turning a little bit, and as you're going along, you notice little green men off to one side as you're heading towards the Capitol. You think they're kind of funny looking, but whatever. You wonder who they are? Well, let me tell you who they are. These are the people from the internet fictional land of Kekistan. Yeah, so this is a 4chan group of meme people and anime online people who the right wing uses to jab at Democrats, and they also worship the fictional internet god Kek. That's him. Pepe the Frog with a Donald Trump wig. I'm not kidding. Okay, so anyway, you have yourself a little chuckle, and you're looking at these little green men, whatever, these clowns are harmless, we'll carry on. So as you're heading towards the Capitol, you notice someone has installed a functional gallows and a noose. Are these, and you're thinking to yourself, are these my people? Are these also, did somebody install that thinks Donald Trump won the election? No, it can't be. That must have been left over from the Black Lives Matter, march that happened last year. Right. So you carry on. I mean, the crowd's moving. You're into it. Everybody's chanting, stop the steal, fight for Trump, whatever. And as you're going along, you see the revolutionary wannabe 3%ers and the Proud Boys and other people walking along in military garb, and you're still, you're still with it. You're still being pushed along. And then as you get closer to the Capitol, you're almost up to the steps now. You're being shoved from behind. There's thousands of people there. So you're being pushed from behind, and you're wondering, how am I going to get up these steps, without getting crushed? And you notice there's a line of military guys snaking their way up the steps. So you pop in behind them thinking, okay, military's here, this can't be all bad. And then one of them turns around to see who you are, and you notice that on their chest they've got a badge, a patch that says the Oath Keepers. So I don't know if you know who the Oath Keepers are, but shit's getting real when you're with these guys. Because they are, how do I say it? They are anti-government militia who are leading you up the steps to break into the Capitol building illegally. So you've got anti-government militia. They're to fight against the government that your President Donald Trump is the head of, but they want to overthrow a government? These still your people? You still thinking that these are your people? Doesn't matter now. You're caught up in behind them. You have to snake your way up those stairs because you're getting pushed from behind and they're leading the way. So as you get to the top of the stairs, amongst the columns, there's a big crowd of people there and everybody seems to be happy. And they're chanting and screaming, "Hang Mike Pence! Hang Mike Pence! You're heading towards the doors and these people are chanting to hang the Vice President of the United States of America. These people are with you. They are part of the Stop the Steal. They believe Donald Trump's lies that the election was stolen, and they are chanting for the hanging of Donald Trump's Vice President. Let that marinate in your brain for a bit. So anyway, you go past them. There's no going back now. So you go past them, and as you enter into the building, you notice a gun-carrying, Confederate flag, racist old man walking through the rotunda, walking through the halls of the Capitol building of the United States of America. Now, I'm hoping at this point you're beginning to put it together that maybe you're not in the right place. If you're my people, these are not your people. But you go around a corner, and lo and behold, you're faced with this scene. Yeah, you're looking at Charles Manson's son, the guy from The Simpsons, and a bewildered hobbit. Now, looking at this, once again, you've got to look at these people and go, these are the same people that are fighting for what I'm fighting for? Are they really my people? No, I don't think so. Shit's getting crazy. Like, the guy from The Simpsons is just out of this world. How can you whatever. You're being pushed along. It is real now. You are in. You've already broken the law. You might as well keep right on going. And then you stumble around the corner into this scene right here. Yeah, this would be a QAnon supporter in a standoff with the police. Now, I don't know what you know about QAnon, but I can guarantee you this guy was arguing about how Trump is the real president of the United States. The vote was stolen, and the Democrats are actually a group of Satan-worshipping pedophiles in cahoots with Hollywood actors led by Brad Pitt and Bette Midler under the direction of the Lizard Queen, Hillary Clinton. Wait, there's more. Who's trying to run a worldwide child sex ring while murdering these children and harvesting their adrenal glands for a psychedelic drug production. I am not with you right now. That is the gist, the crux, the thoughts of QAnon supporters. That Donald Trump was installed by secret general somewhere, and that all that stuff I just explained to you is reality. Think about that. Friends, if you weren't at the point now that you're beginning to realize you're on the wrong side of this, that your beliefs may be slightly skewed, well, you round that next corner and you run into this. That, my friends, is an oh shit moment. Those are neo-Nazis. One guy wearing a Camp Auschwitz t-shirt that extols the virtues of murdering over 1 million Jews in World War II. And the other guy, more frighteningly, is wearing a 6MWE blouse. Goes great with his face mask and whatnot. That shirt, in case you're wondering, stands for 6 million wasn't enough, referring to the 6 million Jews that were killed in the Holocaust. Hopefully at this point, you really and truly come to the realization that you have broken in to the Capitol building of the United States of America with thousands of others, people who believe the same lie that you do, but now you've seen the actors in this ruse. And the finale, like I said, you run into neo-Nazis. People who think the Holocaust wasn't enough. We need to kill more Jewish people. My friends, these are not your people. Look around. Look to your left. Look to your right. See the people that are with you fighting for this lie. You are surrounded and standing with a group who worships a frog in a Donald Trump wig. Right-wing anti-government extremists, wannabe revolutionaries, racist anti-Semites, conspiracy theory crackpots, murderers, and Nazis. You need to do some soul searching, some deep thinking, because, my friends, this group is what represents a large portion of the folks that believe in the steal, in the voter fraud. These are not your people. Trump lost. It's over. Stop perpetuating this lie and egging on our American friends to the South to a point of civil war for a guy who doesn't give a toss about anybody but himself and making money. I hope my little analogy today helps some of you come to terms with the reality of what's going on with our neighbors to the south. I hope my argument and my presentation makes things a little more solidified in your brains. So that's it for me today. Finally, though, on a closer to home note, I'd like to say how happy and pleased I was to see members of our New Brunswick Francophone elite and voices, from places like the University of Moncton and the SANB, the Société Acadienne de Nouveau-Brunswick, speaking up against the insurrection in America. I saw tweets and retweets and social media posts from the likes of Michael Doucette and Rosella Melançon during the actual riots itself. And, it's extremely nice to see that folks like that recognize the dangers of somebody in power, somebody who's supposed to represent the people, bastardizing and twisting the words of the Constitution and changing its original intent, saying that they represent the voice of the people of the minority and that they're standing up for their way of life and their culture, but in reality, all they're doing is whipping up the angry minority to fight and rail against the Constitution, the laws, and a way of life for all, and the only interest being in keeping, a job, political power, or filling their pockets. So good on them for speaking up and being on the side of what is right, and speaking against Donald Trump and his bastardization of the Constitution and twisting and turning and pirouetting and causing discourse in that great country. Bravo à tous. Okay, well that's it for me, folks. Another episode of YATR in the books, the first one of 2021. As always, once again, if you liked what you saw, let me know in the comments. Like or comment below if you'd like to see other topics covered. If you'd like to say something, just let me know either here on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also comment there as well. Hit the like and subscribe while you're at it. As for me, I'm going to go inside, warm up, finish this whiskey, and I'm going to dig out my work clothes because over the next couple of weeks, we may need all to band together and head down south and build a wall of our own. Till next time.